Yes. Last call in the house. What's up, people? It's been a few days. Checking in real quick at that. You know when something is bubbling around the YouTube streets. Um, I gotta give my two in there. I don't like to respond to everything, but when I start seeing little connections here and there, or I think it starts reaching a significance, I want to, throw my little hat in the ring there and put my 2 cents in. So, just taking a little drink. Um, yeah. First of all, welcome to the channel. This is Last Call, where I just do a small little news segment. Most of the times before my live podcast that I do weekly. And so I want to kind of do this quick here. Let's see if I can throw a couple things up while I introduce. So thank you for being here. If you're one of the subscribers, somebody who's checked me out before, really appreciate you coming through and helping me out. Do me a favor. If you like the content, you go through the library, you go through the catalog, you like what you see, you like what you hear, you like the perspectives, do me a favor and drop a like, share, and do me a favor and hit me with that subscribe as I grow my little baby channel. But it's growing, very small and a good dedicated audience, and I thank everybody for that, man. So without holding you guys back, man, let's just get right into what's been in the news for a couple things. And we got a few things coming up. I want to make February useful too. I don't want to overdo it with Black history, known facts, and things like that. There's a couple episodes, or lives I should say, that's going to be dedicated to maybe some movies or documentaries, or maybe even some novels that are just good to keep in your canon, good to know, good to discuss, to have that little body of knowledge, and also to pay homage to the past and the people who helped us achieve, status and where we are in that fight for equity and equality in this land and basically all over, So here we go with this. All right. So lately, I know I'm going to turn that down. In the news, we saw this thing with Babyface on the red carpet per se. All right, and I'm gonna just play you a little of this. I know anything on YouTube, you've seen it over and over again. So I'm not going to bombard you with stuff that you already know. I just want to keep you in the know and kind of try to share another bit of perspective on there and give a shout out to good friend, homeboy of mine, Information Man Show, who covered this last night. And I had to be part of the replay gang because I think it was a little past my bedtime. And even so, I didn't even get the notice. So I know that's a problem around YouTube. Even when we're doing our stuff for the community and stuff, for some reason, the algorithm doesn't always reach the way or where it's supposed to. And just a reminder, I use things, especially from friends, if I use your resources and stuff, it's always good nature and it's in good taste and always appreciated as well. So let's get into it, shall we? So I guess the best thing to do here is share a little bit of the video that's going around. And if you didn't know a little bit of the background, what you should see on the screen right now is a brother by the name of OG brother, super producer, musician, goes by the name of Babyface, Kenneth Edmonds, and he's been in the game, own record label, list is too many to list right now of how many artists he actually produced, from Tony Braxton, Janet Jackson, everybody. You would know a Babyface sound if you heard it also, and including his own catalog of hits and all sorts of stuff that he did, soundtracks, all that sort of stuff, right? So we have at the Grammys here, and I will be showing a bit of this video, and I will be using some of Information Man's information from last night too, because he brought up a couple good points that I think a lot of people weren't looking at in some people's so-called outrage. And I say so-called outrage because I'm a little, when I get into it, I'll tell you why I'm a little on the fence, but I'm happy that this came to surface as a topic, though, in general, right? So, Babyface may not be in the spotlight today for anything he's done during the last 12 months or have anything on display or in rotation. But one thing you can't dispute, no matter what kind of genre you listen to, no matter what era we're in right now, one thing you can't dispute is that this man is a legend, right? And we're looking at a couple things here. So, as a legend, he gets OG status. He gets I don't want to say permission, but granted, what the hell do you call it? The freedom and to be able to walk around and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I can't find the word that I want to use with that right now, but you know what I'm trying to say. That he's able to walk around these halls and be recognized and have certain freedoms as should come with certain legacies and stuff like that. And now what the outrage is, he is stopped by some reporters on the red carpet asking him a question. As he begins to respond to two women, their line of questioning, it appears he's giving a nice, thoughtful response. In mid-response, he is interrupted for a attempt to get another artist, an up-and-comer, how do you say, not a popular artist for the time now, tries to get her attention and totally disregards the interview for Babyface and disregards the attention. Thus, many are saying the respect they should have for Babyface. So let me play a little bit of this first, and then we'll get a little bit more into it.
Interview. Last night during the Grammys, I feel like one of the...
Using the AP, and I'll give some shout outs after. Fair use. Don't get me in trouble for using this stuff that's going around. I come in peace. Here we go.
Most talked about topics was before the awards during the interviews, interviewing Babyface. The interview was going fine up until one of the interviewers spotted Chappell Roan and rudely interrupted Babyface mid-sentence. Right after she did this, Babyface was shocked and was like, "Y'all want to do that? Go do that." To which they then apologized to him and started interviewing her right away. When I saw this, I was like, damn, that was cold. You don't do that to anyone. Like, just wait till he's done talking at least. Babyface responded to the incident. His representative, Ernest Dukes, said he really ignored...
All right, so I'll probably play the rest of that, but already there's a couple things I like and I don't like about this that we'll get into. Number one, you have to admire the grace that only somebody like Babyface can give in the midst of a situation like this. Very calm, cool demeanor, didn't resist, and very much had the attitude he should have, like, you're the ones missing out on this interview. I'm not missing out on being interviewed by you. You're missing out by not interviewing an icon like me. Not in arrogance or what's the word that I'm looking for? The P word. Pretentiousness or anything like that. Just like, okay, cool. Because he is cool like that, and said if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Walked away, and he's good with the rest of his day. Attention would circle back around to these two women who would get note, who would later on have to apologize. And that's where I'm going to bring my brother, information man, in and part of his perspective. So please hang on with me for a little while.
Ignored the whole incident and had positive takeaways from the event, saying, "The best part of the night was reconnecting with old friends, meeting new artists, and feeling all the love in the room. That's what I'll remember. That's what it's real."
One thing you can't argue is Babyface for real, man. Like, I'm not sure how old this dude is, but he's up there by now. His skin looks good. He's definitely taking care of himself. Good dude. Good for you, man.
About music is bigger than any one moment. Much love to everyone who won and everyone out here making great music. This was such a great and mature response and highlights Babyface's focus on the positive aspects of the evening and his enduring passion for music. Bro is a W.
All right.
If you suffer from
And
back or
we already knew that as well, right? So I'm going to click over here and to my dude, Information Man, for a couple seconds, because he goes into a little further of the interview and some of the insight as to what this was happening. So you could imagine there would be some criticism about how these women, how these interviewers handle that situation and frankly handle the legend, and may have heard the buzzing in their ears and may had to come back to the camera and offer up some sort of an apology here. So I think that's what we're seeing right here. So let me make sure it's on that screen, and shout out to Information Man Show. Here we go.
So she comes over.
Sorry about interrupting Babyface earlier. Chapel Roan had come up, and there was a lot of commotion as
There was no commotion.
Well, I had to get the black dude in there. You weren't in there before. Now, I shouldn't have cut off Information Man, but I just want to, for this Fox apology, she's coming on and saying all this commotion, this, that, the other. And this is what I have a problem with, and leading into Information Man's perspective on this as well. So let me hear what he has to say.
You all asked him a question. He was trying
let me
to
take you a
answer.
little
She
further.
comes over.
Sorry about
This, so they had to. She's trying to get her attention. But why would you do that when a man of a stature of Babyface is in the middle of his conversation that you all asked him? It's crazy.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So she comes over.
Sorry about interrupting Babyface.
And without even a blink, without even a change, hello, they both couldn't wait to jump over there and do that. So here's this fake ass apology.
Earlier, Chapel Roan had come up, and there was a lot of commotion as
There was no commotion. You all asked him a question. He was trying to answer that question. You got excited because you saw a hot artist that you probably like personally, and you cut the man off. You could have easily let the man complete what he was saying and went over and got her.
Boom. That
I just think
alone right there. So couple things. Somebody in Information Man's chat said simply it was not a professional thing to do, which I completely agree with. But the other thing that happens in this social media world, in this world of BS and bullshit, you must forget you're on camera and that we just witnessed exactly what had just happened. For you to try to spin the narrative and dismiss your actions by saying, oh, it was commotion, and Information Man got it right. What commotion? You were interviewing the man. It's not like people were walking through. They had to yell over somebody. They had to even yell over the velvet rope. They were behind the velvet rope there were two of them at that. So I'm very annoyed at that. And anybody actually in my own life, in professional life, that thinks that they could out-talk the situation where it's very blatant as to what happened, right? And I guess in 4K, as the kids would say today. So there's that as well. Like, don't try to spin shit. There's a total lack of accountability with this. And just, like Information Man said, they probably don't know a Babyface from, another face, from Scarface or another face, and we're excited to see this other artist there that I quite frankly never heard of that artist, but whatever, that's me. I don't know a lot of new stuff and poppy stuff that's out there, So yeah, I get the unprofessional account of that. I get that you are in entertainment. You should know to not just switch like that. On the other side of that, knowing what these women do for a living, to be in that Hollywood sleuth, to get the latest and the most exciting news, to interview the most exciting person. This is their business. Whether you do it tactfully or not, you know, that's up for discussion in another time. And that's the professionalism that these younger ladies had at the time, right? They didn't have that. There's something later on Information Man show that he has another perspective on that I'm going to dig into. But should I say this now? You know, these guys, this is a deal. What I've noticed in the press, it's gaining more mainstream press, meaning it's not just an issue for Black people who, you know, regard Babyface as a legend and whatnot. A lot of people are kind of chiming in saying, you know, what the fuck is this? You know, you don't treat people like this. And I'm really glad. That's the reason why I'm commenting on it. Had it just been a little blip or something like that, where it was like, oh, well, that happened. I kind of like the traction it's getting because of the respect issue and who it is and why we're paying attention to it as well. I'm actually just going to, I'll finish up this one, and then I'm going to fast forward it up a little bit to another part too. And then throw my other cent in. You already got 1 cent. I'm going to throw the other cent in a little bit. So here we go.
This is excuses. But we're going to play it again.
On these carpets, but I'm a big Babyface fan and
Liar.
y'all, and so I just wanted to say that.
To me, that's bullshit. If you are a big Babyface fan, then you would have given him the attention that he deserved when you were the one that asked him to come over in the first place to ask him questions about what's happening with the genre of rap and other types of music. You guys ask him a question. The least you could do is let him complete the answer to your question as you get ready to go to the next celebrity or artist that's coming up.
And you know it's bullshit. It is bullshit information, man. And here's another little, you know, not to make this racial or anything like that, but there's 2 aspects of it. Again, the type of business that this is, where you have to go and pursue the latest thing and whatnot. And I just wonder, in our community, we know who Babyface is and whatnot. Say this was like Grammys or whatever, something, I hate to use the BET Awards, but something like that, and Bon Jovi was walking the red carpet. Black reporters would not do Bon Jovi like that because we respect music and soul and all that stuff. Maybe I chose the wrong guy. I don't know. But you know, one of your rockers, one of the Babyface equivalents, which actually is a good question. Throw that in the comments for me. In the rock world, in the white world, who do you think Babyface equivalent is? I'm going to have to think a little bit and then put it down there. I might put it down there too. But I think that's a good question. But the reason why I don't think this would work the other way around, if these were 2 Black reporters and perhaps there was like a white soul singer, Michael McDonald or something like that, they wouldn't just drop the shit. Billy Caldwell. I'm starting to come up with names right now. And go to the next. I do believe you respect. So I don't even think these are appreciative music people. I think it's very indicative of society and a certain age demographic of, oh, here's damn near like, even though you're in person there, it's almost the equivalent of swiping screens to the next thing, right? All right, we're going to switch it up a little bit.
Again,
after this. I really apologize. But thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Seeing more of a fusion. We're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip hop and rock as well.
Yes, I think it's interesting.
You see that she wasn't even paying attention there. What the hell was she doing over on the side over there as we get rid of this? Look at her. The one on the clip one closest to the screen. Look at her looking. Something's catching her eye. Stalking. She wasn't even paying attention from the start. Turns back around, not even to look at him, looking past him. So there is that, right? I'm going to just move it up a little bit. This is dude from Boys to Men, I believe. All right, I'll say it. I'll admit, when I first saw this, I did think it was Ricky Smiley for like 2 seconds because there was a thing. He was wearing glasses.
So upset. Just handed him my.
He's wearing glasses like Ricky Smiley. All right. I just wanted to admit that real fast. But there's a couple perspectives in this
again, and here we go.
Post that dude from Boys from Men made here. So
Interviews.
listen up.
By a couple of young ladies. And during his interview, they saw someone that was, I guess, currently hot right now. And they called over to that person, basically interrupting my friend, who, by the way, is a legend in the music business.
Correct.
Not just black music, but
Correct.
in music in general. His interview was abruptly cut off because they were trying to get the attention of this particular artist. And my friend, being obviously and rightfully so upset, just handed the mic off and walked away. I was talking to my manager, Joe, on the phone about this, and he raised a question. It's like, or rather he made a statement. Like, that would never happen in the NFL. Like, or the NBA. You would never disrespect Magic Johnson. You would never disrespect You would never disrespect any football legend.
Now, I wanted to jump in there real quick. I hear what he's saying. He's making a good point, but I also think it's a little bit of a false equivalency to compare sports figures, although they're all considered entertainment, entertainers and entertainment wise. I think it's a little different, even though we're talking about legendary status as well. For me, it's different because sports figures, they kind of, even though they're generational, they still maintain their shine to a certain extent. So that's kind of why that works. Music is very much like what's happening now. Those events are very much what's happening now and who is happening now. And it's even a little more tabloid-ish, I would say, too. Right? All right, so we're going to wrap this up and bring it home in just a minute.
That's a fact. You never see this in NFL.
Opposite in the music industry. The industry tends to have a really bad habit of doing very disrespectful things to people. No matter what you know or not know of them.
Let me play that back, what he said. Let me play it to about
We'll
right
play that back
here,
and we'll close it up.
Habit of doing very disrespectful things to people that should be honored. No matter what you know or not know of them, there are certain people that in the industry should be well versed on who is who and who they should tip their hat to.
All right, so I'm going to sort of start fading out from this point over here. While leading up to that point, I want to remind us of a couple things, right? First of all, excuse me, as always, we can't condemn others when we might be just as guilty as doing that stuff on our own. Now, when I particularly think about things in the news that's happening, like DJ Academics, right? And easily with him, I could put under that umbrella Jaguar Wright, and I could put Adam 22, because these people, they interview our entertainers, black entertainers. They gossip and keep those names afloat of those entertainers. And even though they're not face to face with these entertainers and the ones that are in the culture like that, they are just as pivotal instruments for dragging down the name in the mud, tarnishing legacies, starting rumors, gossip, and all sorts of nasty stuff that, quite frankly, they wouldn't be allowed to do if they didn't capture the proper attraction, if they didn't have the proper audience to perpetuate this sort of stuff too. So before we have people up there that condemn these little two girl reporters, I'm not calling them little girls to disrespect women, but more like the mentality of them. They were like little excited girls to see their little pop star over there. Before we condemn them doing them, let's start shutting down and canceling the people, the cancers in our culture who also they don't even work for larger entities. Well, maybe they do, in terms of agenda and whatnot. But the ones that are already doing it to us, the ones that we already let penetrate, perforate around the culture and do this sort of stuff, and quite frankly, give people who shouldn't have a platform. These whack 100s, these people who come in, Charleston whites who are so inarticulate and don't do anything but echo certain sentiments, certain talking points, but they don't have the backing or the education to be able to stand on their own and really be able to discuss any facts or any ideologies. Let's make sure that we're condemning that also. All right. Again, what we should be looking at here for Babyface, Mr. Kenneth Edmonds, is the way that he handled a situation. He didn't get loud. He didn't get ignorant. He said, hey, if that's what you want to do, handed back the mic, turned away, and went about his day. Let's look at that first, the way that he handled that situation, as opposed to maybe something you want to do or something that you want to see, or how you think maybe one of these young all-out artists would act on the red carpet. I tip my glass and I toast my glass to Black excellence like that, and that character. Good on you, man. And that is my 2 cents on the whole Babyface debacle. I thank you very much for being here. Special shout out to my main man, Information Man. Even when I'm just using a resource there, you could see me in the chat. You could see me following Information Man on his show. Go check him out. Go subscribe to his channel. You will not be disappointed of the production that he lays out for his subscribers and his viewers as well. Always has good topics, research, and good presentation as well. If you're catching me for the first time, thank you. Check out the rest of the library, some of the videos I have out under videos. Catch me on a live once a week also, and jump in on any of the shorts. If you like what you heard, if you like the perspective, you want to see that going, I do recommend that you like, share, and especially subscribe for me as I try to grow my little channel here. And I really appreciate you. Shout out for everybody who's been with me from day one, and the others that are collecting around the way. You are appreciated. Make sure that you meet me up on my live. I'll be covering quite a few things, as we do it up again. Definitely appreciate you guys. Peace out.